welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get into the weekly outlook for the sign of Taurus. But before we do, I just want to let you guys get a gander at my new bracelet. All right, this is a gorgeous bracelet that I got from one of my subscribers. Her name is well, her channel is My Frequency New York City, and she is on Etsy. Her link is in the description. And like I've always said, I'm always happy to show off any of my subscribers' art or work if it's something that fits with my channel. And I do love her work. I checked her IG out and I was just so impressed. So very, very beautiful that she makes jewelry, that she makes bracelets and rings and all sorts of necklaces. So please do check that out. And let's get right into it, okay? Taurus, we're going to pull out your 3 romance angel messages for March 1st to the 7th, the first full week of March, all right? So if you want to check out your love outlook for March, it'll be linked in the description. And let's get right into it, Taurus. We're going to pull out your 3 angel messages now. Straight out, we have flirt. Beautiful. We have let go of control issues. This came up for Aries also. And deception. All right, Taurus. I'm a Taurus rising myself. I'm a Sagittarius with a Taurus rising. So, Well, let's just see what this all may mean for you. We're going to go ahead, and pull out your animal spirits for the week. See what kind of animal spirits, energies you have working with you this week, influencing you or around you perhaps. This is, of course, Taurus, March 1st to the 7th. Show me what's going on. And, of course, this reading's not going to be for everyone, so just take it as it comes to you. If it doesn't apply to you or none of it really relates to your situation, then this reading just is not for you, and that's fine too. So we have the Vulture, air energy, the Owl, more air energy, right? Harbinger of blessings and wisdom, and Turtle energy, water energy, associated with storytellers and writers. Very nice indeed. So let's get right into it. The Vulture is a much sort of maligned animal spirit, right? This is a very undervalued animal spirit. In the wild, the vultures are necessary for our ecosystem to thrive, right? Without the vulture and its ability to do the dirty work of cleaning up messes, basically, right? Our ecosystem would just descend into disease and pestilence and death, right? I mean, there would be no room for growth. And so in this way, the spirit of the vulture is there specifically when we're dealing with certain situations that we don't want to deal with, right? They may be quite unpleasant. They could be conversations you don't want to have. They could be, communications that you're dealing with right now that are unpleasant or that are troublesome or oppressive in some way or another, but they have to be done, right? And this way, the dirty work needs to be done. And oftentimes, these situations, just like the vulture is so undervalued, these experiences in our lives sometimes are also very much undervalued. Even the difficult times in our lives have a value. There's something to learn. There's something that is very important there, because oftentimes, it is darkest before the dawn, right? It is very, very difficult before things start to roll along and become a lot easier. Now, the owl is also an air animal spirit associated with the alchemical symbol for air at the top of the card. And the owl is really worldwide the totem of blessings coming in and wisdom coming in, right? The owl is a spirit animal that is in your life when things just suddenly seem to come your way, and they really seem to be like a blessing out of the blue, right? Or just suddenly really good fortune comes in. Specifically, we're talking about financial good fortune in love, and certainly wisdom coming in. Now, the turtle is a water elemental, and it is an animal spirit that is associated with great storytellers and writers. The turtle is a very earthy kind of creature, right? But it is associated with water here. And the reason why is that there is a really beautiful combination of earthiness and practicality and groundedness, as well as an ability to go very deep into emotional situations. The turtle is able to sort of straddle that line. And so this is what we think of, for instance, if you are like a photojournalist, right? Or if you're a storyteller, you're one of these people, you're surrounded by difficult stories, maybe even heartbreaking stories, traumatic stories, poignant stories, stories of intense happiness or sometimes of intense grief. Situations like that. People may tell you these situations, and of course, the spirit of the turtle, because of its groundedness, it is able to sort of empathize and understand, and yet at the same time not get caught up in the emotions of it all and still remain grounded. This is and so not only for storytellers, although this is the totem, sort of animal spirit totem for storytellers, it is just the ability also for any of us, whether you are a writer or not, to sort of remain grounded and to remain sort of to keep your practical head on, right? Even though you're dealing with something that is really emotionally charged, really difficult, right? Whether it's something to do with yourself, or maybe you're dealing with a friend or family member who's going through something very difficult, you're going to be sort of that rock in a lot of ways. All right, guys, let's get right into your forecast for March 1st to the 7th. Going to pull out 3 forecasts for you, Taurus. They are designed, or rather intended, to be for separate Tauruses. So these are 3 separate experiences, and generally you're going to only resonate with one of them if you resonate with anything at all. Okay, guys? If it's not for you, if none of these forecasts are for you, then this reading simply is not for you this week, Taurus. And maybe that you check out a different reader, a different channel, what have you. All right, guys? So many readers out there, so many channels, and I guess you just really have to find the one that you vibe with the best. And I encourage you to do that. All right, guys, straight out, we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Swords and Temperance energy. There's Sagittarius showing up. Temperance is the card for Sagittarius in the tarot. Well, the Queen of Pentacles is interesting because she is indeed a mix between cups and, water and earth. Just like the turtle, right? An earthy creature that has this deep propensity for experiencing deep emotion. Queens are always associated with water, and pentacles are earth. And so here we have the ability of an individual to really put their heart into their work, right? This is someone who's emotionally invested in their career or their business. You can see that she's even looking at the pentacle like it's her own like little baby that needs caring, that needs attention and nurturing. And this is the same thing that is required whenever we're trying to manifest something materially, whether that's a business or a career move or something to do even with your environment. Sometimes pentacles aren't always just about money and business. The realm or the plane of earth or pentacles is also associated with our physical health. It is associated with our material environment, how we live, where we live, right? It's associated with everything that is here that we can touch. And so there's a lot more than just money involved here. So this could also be you putting a lot of your emotional energy into your surroundings and making sure that your environment is conducive for your growth or is conducive for your creative progression. In any case, this is a very, very strong sort of energy of prosperity, right? And of manifesting here in the real world, in the world that we touch, our dreams and the things that we feel are important to us, important to our heart, our creative expression, as it were, in a lot of ways. Now you're coming into the week with this, so a lot of you could be coming into the week really putting a lot of effort into this area of your life. Like I said, whether it be your health, physical health, your environment, your career, your business. You have a Knight of Swords energy that you're running into. And this is interesting. This is someone who is very, very sort of passionate and clear-headed, though, right? Very clear-headed, very much able to sort of come up with solutions to obstacles that may be in your way to achieving your goals. This is someone, source being associated with the mind and communication. We're talking about someone who's able to sort of use the right words, right? If there's some kind of difficulty that you're having or an obstacle that you're having with someone else, like you're not meeting on the same page, you're not seeing eye to eye, the Knight of Swords has the ability to sort of cut through that with logic, with clear communication. They're able to really sort of see what is going on in a particular dynamic with someone and address it verbally, or certainly come up with the right solution to address it, right? And in this way, the Knight of Swords is very much very much attacking an issue or a problem from the mental point of view. So it's interesting that you will come up against this energy here. It could very well be, feels to me like you might be working with someone like this, right? And although you are right now being very sort of practical, but also very emotional, a Knight of Swords is going to be very logical, very businesslike in a lot of ways. And so sometimes you guys can butt heads. You can absolutely be working towards the same project or outcome or idea, right? But it's because you attack it from two different sides that sometimes there can be a bumping of heads, or there can be a feeling of not really appreciating each other's energy that you're bringing to the table. Both energies are very valid, but this almost reminds me of somebody that you might be working with, or somebody that you might be doing business with, right? And their sort of mentality towards the issue is so different from yours, where you're so much more emotionally charged, they're so much more mentally and logically charged. You come out the end of the week with Temperance energy, and I think you're just finding yourself realizing that, there's no point in reacting to this person or reacting emotionally to the way this person is acting, because ultimately you guys are working towards the same objective. The Knight of Swords is all about getting obstacles out of the way, right? And so sometimes this is the type of energy that you want to have. If you're dealing with business or career or something like that, and you're trying to manifest and there are obstacles in your way, it feels to me very much like it's someone that you're going to be working with on a project, right? You might be working in partnership with them or on a team with them, right? And it's just you really sort of understanding that temperance is called for, right? Because the best way forward is for you guys to work sort of in unison and in a cooperative way. And sometimes the best way to work with people is to be temperate, right? To not sort of react to the way that they operate, right? And to just have control of yourself. You can't control other people, but you can control yourself. In a lot of ways, that is all about letting go of control issues, right? When you let go of the desire to control the way somebody else behaves or the way that somebody else works, and you really just concentrate on controlling yourself and making sure that you're, the moves that you make, the decisions that you make, and the words that you use are in line with who you truly are, and that you're not really being pushed off your square because you're reacting to outside energy, then that is the best way to keep a healthy control of a situation and not necessarily perpetrate an unhealthy control, if you know what I mean. We have Empress energy. And I could say also, before I go on to Empress, could be the spirit of the vulture here. This person may be willing to do a lot of the dirty work that you, because you are emotionally invested, aren't necessarily able to do. And so this is what I talk about with the spirit of the vulture, that sometimes even difficult situations or people who work in a way that is not a way that's necessarily comfortable for us, but it's necessary, they are undervalued. And I think this understanding is one of the things that's going to come in for you this week. So we have Empress energy for some of you, Knight of Pentacles, and Four of Swords. Very nice. So the Empress is all about nurturing and building up your own strength, living in, standing in your power. But a lot of ways, when we say what does standing in your power means, it means that it's important that you remember that you and your creative fertility is what is constantly needs nurturing and understanding and feeding and loving. You have to love yourself for other people to love you. You have to love yourself and take care of yourself for you to remain creatively viable, for you to be able to express yourself the way you want to. A lot of times the Empress also talks about mirroring who you are from on the inside in your surroundings. So really working on making sure that you create the type of environment that you either live in or work in that is conducive for you. So you're kind of dealing with this week, Taurus. It's all about this energy when you're coming into the week, and you're met with the Knight of Pentacles energy, and this is a real desire to carry on with a particular goal that you have, right? And I think this is a real understanding for some of you. You may have had to take a little break from this path to take care of yourself, right? But in any case, events happen this week, Taurus, that really remind you how important this path is, how important this goal is for you. Knight of Pentacles is the most committed and doggedly sort of, I want to say, how committed, but also the energy they have, you know, the endurance, right? The endurance of the Knight of Pentacles. It's a dogged endurance in the sense that, you know, they won't stop. They simply won't stop until they reach their destination. Sometimes, of course, this can take a long time because it is a slow night. But that's okay, you know, because oftentimes our greatest wishes that we want to manifest in our lives do take time, and patience is really a virtue in that sense. In any case, I want to say that this week certain events come in for you, and they really sort of remind you that the path you're on is worth staying on, is worth remaining committed to. And yes, it's going to require you to have a certain level of endurance and a certain level of patience, right, and determination. By the end of the week, you begin thinking about a strategy for your way forward. Again, you may be getting right back on a particular path that maybe you had let go for a little while. Maybe you needed to take care of yourself. But by the end of the week, you're going to be absolutely thinking about the next steps. What are my best steps forward? What are the next steps for me to take in the pursuit of this goal? I do think this goal is a financial goal for you, Taurus. I think it definitely has something to do with your career or your business if you have your own business, right? And I think it is very good for you to indeed think about the next steps because you have to a certain degree established a certain amount of stability. 4 is the number for stability, and 4 of Swords, we realize that, yes, we've already established a certain amount of stability. We are grateful to have gotten this far, and so we want to make sure that the next steps don't throw out any of that hard work we've done or undermine any of that hard work we've done, and that we indeed are able to move forward in a progressive and a sort of building way, right? 2 of Wands, 7 of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Well, this is your last spread, Taurus, and 2 of Wands is Mars and Aries energy, and here we're talking about a real sort of determination, right? You want to move forward. You're ready to move forward. You've already sort of planted the seed. You've established the first wand, and you're ready to take the next step. Your 2 of Wands is also this energy of being able to face anything that comes your way, right? You have the energy, you have the endurance, you have the vision. You know it's not going to be easy, and you know that certain times you may even have to be sort of like a warrior for your cause, but you are absolutely ready to do this. Coming into the week, you're met with a 7 of Cups. Now, 7 of Cups is the card for delusion and wishful thinking. It is the card for really having a pie-in-the-sky outlook on something and not being that grounded. Sometimes maybe having unrealistic expectations of a particular scenario or situation, or even a connection that you have with somebody, you know, just being unrealistic about what it is or what it can do for you, or, you know, just being unrealistic about things that you want. And oftentimes 7 of Cups is also this feeling of just like remaining in your head about things. You know, oftentimes what makes something unrealistic is the fact that we haven't worked at all towards it. If you're just dreaming about it and dreaming about it and dreaming about it, you're unable to make any moves towards that goal, then it is an unrealistic goal. And also, it isn't until we begin to work towards a particular goal that we realize all the challenges that are involved. And this is how we can then start to ground ourselves and really make more of a realistic plan for what we want to do. If we only remain in our heads about something, then it always seems like, oh, sure, it's possible, but we've not actually done anything on the ground, so we have no idea of what obstacles are really in our way. It's interesting that this will come into you this week, and it could be that you're dealing with somebody perhaps who is trying to paint this picture for you. It could be that you yourself have had an unrealistic view on a certain path that you're on. You're willing to go for it, but you may need to just ground yourself here. I'm not saying that you're being delusional, Taurus, but I am saying that whatever your goals are, just make sure that you remain grounded. Just make sure that as you're working towards those goals, you are really sort of keeping your eye open for, the real obstacles in your way, the real steps you may have to take. Sometimes we have to take a step backwards to take 2 steps forward. Sometimes we have to go down a different path. And in any case, as long as you realize that, as soon as you realize that you need to remain grounded, then you have already begun to move forward. You've already begun to progress because you've taken your head out of the clouds and put your head right into the here and now. And this is the first step to manifesting your dreams. By the end of the week, you round off with a Wheel of Fortune, which is a real feeling of fortune, blessings coming in, Taurus. Nevertheless, even though you may have had a little bit of a pie in the sky, attitude here. And by the way, we all, they say that, right? What do they say? Shoot for the moon and you land amongst the stars, even stars are further away, or shoot for the stars and you land on the moon. You have to shoot for a higher progress, right? A higher goal, and then you land somewhere beautiful anyway, right? In any case, I do feel like this is just kind of like a little wake-up call to you to be grounded in certain areas, but nevertheless, the blessing comes in anyway. The good fortune comes in for you anyway. And just as you are grounding yourself in this pursuit of this objective, Taurus, here comes your first beautiful sort of golden opportunity, or your first sort of, in the spirit of the owl, your first blessing coming in, or maybe, in the line of maybe you've had blessings coming in, but in any case, by the end of the week, the wheel starts turning for you again. And I think a lot of that is because you've made the intentional step to ground yourself here. And a lot of times, Spirit will come and answer you when you have made realistic steps for your own progression, when you're being realistic, when you're being grounded, when you're putting work in, when you're being intentional. All of these positive things that are hard to do sometimes, when we do it, it is then that Spirit or the universe sort of replies in kind and oftentimes begins to open up doors that we thought were never possible. All right, guys, this is your reading, March 1st to the 7th, for my lovely, beautiful Earth sign of Taurus. I do love you guys. But for right now, if you enjoyed this reading, if you enjoy my readings, my channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel, comment if you'd like. All of that good stuff, especially sharing your this video on your social media, all of that really helps my channel to grow and allows more and more people to get to see my readings and provide feedback, and all of that is really, really appreciated. But for right now, Taurus, have a wonderful week. Don't forget to check out My Frequency in New York for her beautiful jewelry in the description, and I'll see you next week for your weekly outlook. Bye-bye, guys.